Hey guys, Nick here with Nick's Guns and Range. Today I'm going to be showing you how to take apart your Taurus G2C and how to properly clean it and lubricate it. So first thing you're going to do is take your Taurus G2C, make sure that there's nothing in the mag well. It is empty, no rounds inside. Now what I like to do is I will pull it back to about this point here, where your slide catch is right over the slide release. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep one finger over top of the slide. As I pull the trigger in, you heard it click, the slide just comes right off, like so. Now what you're going to want to do is set your lower down over here somewhere, and take your upper, and I will actually, let me set this camera into a more comfortable position for you guys. Right guys, so here we have our upper to the Taurus G2C. What we're going to do, I recommend you take your finger. We're going to put our finger over the barrel itself. We're going to take this recoil rod and spring off. Now this is, in my previous video I spoke about, let me move the slower out the way. This is a mostly polymer blend. I'm not a big fan of it. You can see, I mean, there's really no metal to it. I mean, this part here, the middle of the rod is like a very mild light steel. It's not very thick. And I mean, it's 18-pound rod from the factory. Like I said, polymer blend. Only part that's steel is the end cap here that sits against the barrel and the middle of the rod. Everything else is polymer. It's a polymer blend. Now, what I like to do, personally, you don't have to do this, this is how I do it. I take a rag and I wipe down my recoil rod and spring. Now, I don't know what lubricants you guys use. I use a mixture of Seafoam Deep Creep, and I also use Hops 9. Now, depending on what I'm doing, if I am cleaning up heavy grime, cleaning up stuff like that, I'm going to use Deep Creep. If I'm just oiling up my guns, lubricating them, and cleaning them from range day, I'm usually going to use Hops 9. Now, what I like to do, I take a little dab of oil right here. I put it on this spring all the way up. I take one dab of oil right here in this like indentation cutout right here, and I oil this right here all the way around one good time. If you see this little indentation cutout, it's kind of hard to see, I apologize, but right there I put a little drop of oil on that. Now next thing's next, take your barrel out of your lower like so. Again, I like to give these a good wipe down. Anything I take out, anything I take apart, I give a good wipe down with a rag. Now, what you're going to want to do, after you do that, I again like to use a little bit of Hops 9, but we're not going to do that just yet. I did shoot this barrel, excuse me, I shot the gun a good bit. You can see there's some grime, there's some nasty little crap up in there. I'm going to take my 9mm brush with my Gunmaster kit right here. Picked it up from Walmart for like 10 bucks. And I like to run it through a couple of times. I do this just about 2 or 3 times. And it will actually knock loose any debris, anything that's stuck up in there. As you can see, the barrel actually is a lot cleaner now. Now what I'll actually do, take a little bit of Deep Creep, spray down in there, like so. Take exactly what I just did. I'm gonna go the opposite way this time. That way it gives the inside of the barrel a good coating. I know you guys just seen the Deep Creep come out there. That's fine, that's what I want. Because if you look down this barrel, now it has a rust preventative, I cannot speak today. Rust preventative coating inside. Run it through one more time. I'm going to take my rag. We're going to wipe the inside of the barrel right here. We're going to wipe this off good. Now, you don't have to use Seafoam. If you just have regular Hops 9 gun oil like this, or whatever lubricants you use, you can actually just drop a couple drops down in your barrel, and it'll do the same thing. I mean, you don't have to get technical with it. This is just how I do it. Now, what I like to do, I take a little bit of gun oil. I run it down the center like so. And what I'll do is I'll take my finger. You can use a rag, a paper towel, whatever you guys use. I'll take my finger and I'll actually lubricate the entirety of this barrel. Everything gets lubricated. Then I will take whatever rag I'm using or a paper towel. I'll take just an edge like this and lightly wipe off the excess oil. You do not want to take all the oil you just spread around off. And I'll show you what I mean. Because when you're done, your barrel should be shiny, but it shouldn't have a lot of residual coating. You should just see a light coat of oil. Set the barrel off to the side. Take your upper itself. As you can see, this one has some grime on the inside. I usually prefer to use Q-tips or something of that nature, but I actually didn't grab any. So what I'm going to do, take my deep creep, and we're just going to spray a little spritz in there. Take a corner again of a rag or whatever you're using, stick it down in here. We're going to try and get all the edges, every edge. Wipe the slide right here as well, nice and gently, because you don't want to snag right here where your striker and your everything is. You just don't want to do that, because you know, I'm not responsible. And yeah. Now, something I would like to mention real quick, I do not know if you guys can see. Yeah, you can, right there. This is the front screw. And let me actually see what size it is. It looks like a little Torx screw. I actually have some Allen keys right here. It's a very small one. And I actually do this one. And you could actually be able to take this apart and replace your front knob. Yeah, it's just this size right here. Does it say what size it is? So you need a 5/64 Torx or Allen key, and you can remove your front optic right up there with the screw. I'm trying to get the camera to focus. Come on, camera. We were just doing fine. You were being my best friend. Right here is a 5/64 again, and then you can remove your front optic and replace it with a fiber optic. The rear right here is a small, trying to get a light. It's just a very small flathead screwdriver, which ironically I do not have. I need to pick up a new set. So we've wiped down the inside of the barrel. We have wiped down the barrel itself. We have lubricated the barrel. We have lubricated the recoil spring and the guide rod. What we're gonna do now, and this is, you know what I do, I'm going to go along the inside here with a little bit of deep creep, because as you can see, there's a little bit of grunge here. If I take my finger up and show you guys, a little bit did come up. Take our deep creep, just light little sprints, wipe it down good. As you can see, it's a lot cleaner, looks a lot better. Everything is cleaner. Now what we're gonna do, I need to get this rear just a little bit better. I'm not proud of myself for that. We're gonna take our lower, or excuse me, our upper. God, I'm getting confused here. We're gonna insert the barrel, like so. The barrel sits in here flush. Take your spring and guide rod. Don't get this confused. I've done it before when I first started messing with guns. You're going to take your guide rod, this end goes forward, just like so. And then what you want to do, you want to push it down till it hits this first notch right here. And once it hits its first notch, you're good to go. Don't be concerned if you take this apart and you get worried that you've messed up. That's just how these barrels are. As you can see, it's just a small notch on the barrel, and it just sits in place. So that's all you really have to do for that. Now we're going to move to the lower. About the same process. I'm going to give it a good wipe down without spraying anything with the edge and corner here of a rag. wipe everything down. Be gentle, especially when working near the rear sear of the firearm. Be very gentle. You want to wipe it just gently and wipe it easily, especially with the trigger up front. Now, what I like to do here, I'll take my oil, and when you first get your G2C, you may have issues releasing your slide right here. If you see right here, take your gun oil, add a drop on the inside, on that side, like that. Then we're going to go to this side, add a drop of gun oil, and right in the center, add a drop of gun oil. And then what you're going to do is work it a couple times gently, and that will be lubricated. Now what we're going to do, we're going to move here. Your slide release, I recommend dropping a dab of oil right here. Let it fall in, let it do what it's going to do. Your trigger action right here. Drop of oil. Come to the rear of your gun right here. This is the rear sear where your trigger action links in with the sear itself. Drop of gun oil. And right at the back there's a small spring. Right here. Drop of gun oil. What you're going to do, you're going to take your rag yet again. After you do this, you're going to gently wipe everything down. Make sure everything has a good, even coating, a gentle wiping. And you're going to take your upper, take your lower. You want to take it like so and get the, I'm trying to do this, guys, for you. The rear of the gun, or excuse me, the rear of the upper has to come and match right here. Slide it back straight and true. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. Slide it back straight and true. Rack it back a couple times. Ensure it's on there good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of gun oil. Go along the top of the gun, the sides of the gun. And this is actually what Taurus recommends doing on their website. Take your rag, give it a liberal wiping of gun oil all around the gun, just everywhere. And I'm not making this up. This is seriously what Taurus recommends doing on their website. When you're done, your gun should have a nice even coating of lubricant. You should not have, I can rack this gun no problems from the rear as well. It's not sliding out my hand. You don't want to slide out your hand. Now, one more thing you can do if you like is drop a tad bit of gun oil on the trigger itself. Flip your gun upside down right here. And you can drop a little bit of gun oil on the inside right here and on this little bar. That's what I do, and it actually does help a little bit. You will see a little bit of improvements with shooting with just your stock firearm. And that's what I like to do, guys. I hope you guys found this informative. Be careful when you do this. Again, make sure all your guns are unloaded, everything's good to go. And if you want to see more videos like this, I will do some more videos. I'm just trying to do honest reviews and give you guys honest content without the bullshit. Because there's a lot of guys on YouTube that have personal biases, and we're not going to do that. I'm going to give 100% honest reviews. I'm not going to show any bias. So, whatever you guys want to see on the channel, let me know. Any gun reviews you want to see, anything, just let me know. Comment it down below. I don't mind. I'll listen. I'll respond to every single one of you guys, because something that grinds my gears personally is these big YouTubers who sit here, abuse their fan base, and don't listen to what the guys in their comment sections are saying or want to see. We're not going to do that. We're going to do something different here, guys. Again, thanks for watching. This has been Nick's Guns with Nick's Guns and Range. Hope you guys found this video informative as well as entertaining. So, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day and be safe.